What's up, everyone? Welcome back. Game number 4 now. That's not what I meant to do. There we go. Game number 4 here between MVP and Nestea. Nestea is ahead now 2-1 in the series between these two players. As you can see, we're here on Shattered Temple. Nestea spawning in the 3 o'clock position as our red Zerg player. And then over here in the 12 o'clock is MVP as the blue Terran player. So yes, MVP managing to win last game. The biggest thing really was how effective his Blue Flame Hellion Harass was. Now, most times when he harassed, he ended up losing his Hellions, but the sheer amount of drones he was able to kill was so crucial. And I'll say it again, I said it last game, it's probably getting annoying. The biggest thing as a Zerg player is that losing workers is, it's a double whammy. Not only do you take that income hit, but having to use your larva. It's just the way the Zerg class functions. You use your larva, you're either building workers or you're building units. When you take heavy losses to your worker counts, especially last game, MVP with his Hellion Harass, I think he killed off a total of 50 plus workers. You've got to use your larva to rebuild all those. So had he not lost all of his workers, then he could have used that 55 plus larva to build roaches and speedlings and mutas and infestors or whatever he wanted to build. But instead, because he lost that larva, he had to re-drone. So that secondary timing push from MVP, following up with that strong mech push, it was just devastating. It was way too much for Nestea to handle. He just did not have the army size necessary, and that's what happened. And it's quite saddening for Nestea, but again, kudos to MVP. So yes, game number 4 is what we are on right now. MVP is behind at the moment, only winning 1 game out of those first 3 games. Now, it does appear like MVP will be opening up relatively standard. His refinery now finished, getting that saturated. Here comes that orbital command, and that first Arax, as soon as that finishes, that'll be building a marine. So as you can see, orbital command coming on through. Here comes that marine as well, and there you go. So everything looking standard. Nestea now coming up with the spawning pool and extractor as well. They are in what's called close air distance position. I don't know if it's really called that. That's what I call it. That's what it is pretty much. As the crow flies, they're pretty much as close as they can be right now in these particular positions. This makes drop harass and anything of the like very effective. Even like opening up a Banshee play can be very strong because of the reason they're so close. MVP can get that Banshee inside of Nestea's base so early. Drop harass, you don't see that quite as frequently from Zerg players, though it is certainly possible. Nestea, of course, realizes at the moment where MVP is, and that Overlord should be pushing in probably in a couple of minutes to get that secondary scouting that is so very crucial. Now MVP has yet to, what am I doing there? MVP now just scouting out Nestea. I'm just hitting all sorts of stuff today. Just scouting out that expansion, and as we can see now, Nestea is working to saturate that. SCV really won't be able to do too much. Now back over here inside of the main base, we are seeing that exact same opening. MVP once more opening up with some Hellions. That's exactly what he will be doing in this game. Not a lot of saturation. You can see, in fact, only 1 worker on that extractor. That is because Nestea will be trying to drone up very hard at this point. Might be getting probably, I expect, at least 1 spine crawler from Nestea. You can see those Zergling scouts now moving out. With that, he should be able to move on up and scout this factory with that reactor, unless he gets shooed back by these Marines. Right now, it's all about Nestea just being wise with those Zerglings and just circumventing. Just go around those Marines, and no, he's not going to scout it. So, either way, though, I'm sure he's expecting it. We can actually see a Roach Warren in production right now that is being built right down here for Nestea. So Nestea is going to be opening up with some Roaches. Here comes an expansion from MVP as well. MVP, again, opening up with that Hellion Harass into Expo. It's very effective. It's a very effective, and something I'm seeing almost all the time now in TVZ because of its effectiveness. And actually, those Marines scouting out that Overlord will be trying to do some damage. Although they won't kill it, if this Overlord ends up being used for secondary scouting, it's now softened up. So that's pretty much the issue there for Nestea now. He pretty much will have a very difficult time pushing in with that Overlord for secondary scouting without losing it too quickly before he actually sees anything useful. So, speed boost now finished. That metabolic boost for Nestea's Zerglings. We've got a few Roaches coming out. Just starting out with 2, in fact. He's just going to be opening up with those 2 Roaches. Not committing too much to it, in fact. And actually, here comes a Baneling Nest. Ooh, that's not orthodox at all. Still on 2 bases, Roaches, Speedlings, and Banelings. It does appear to the keen of eye that Nestea is planning a 2-base push here, and it doesn't look like he'll be pushing out anytime soon. He's just going to wait till he masses up some Speedlings. He's going to push MVP back to his base and then move out and probably go for a Baneling bust, and that can be very effective. You can see 12 Zerglings coming out, so just a few Roaches, pretty much just enough to try to deter these Hellions here. MVP being very wise, wants to continue to scout out though. He knows, wow, Nestea's really trying to keep me away from the front of his base, so what is going on? We've got the Speedlings trying to sneak their way out through, and there they go. Getting spotted by the Hellions. MVP will be trying to follow them, but it doesn't really matter. They're able to get away right now, and here go the Speedlings. Roaches pushing back to try to pull back those Hellions. And we're going to be seeing some Banelings right now, and here they come. Nestea morphing in those Banelings. Roaches managed to effectively keep those Hellions back from MVP. We've got a bunch more Speedlings and also a Roach over here. This expansion not going to be able to sit up at all. We've got Siege Tech coming out. It won't be up in time though, because here comes the Baneling bust right now. Nestea prepared to break through the front of the base. Roaches and Speedlings now able to swoop on in. First thing they need to do is take out those tanks and Marines. How effective is this going to be? He's lost all of his Speedlings. And oh my gosh, MVP managed to quite handedly take care of that. In fact, Nestea didn't manage to do much damage at all. That's very scary right now because I'm expecting a counter push to come out. And look at that. Checking out the mini-map, we can see MVP is doing that very thing. That was a very effective defense there. Nestea just did not have enough forces. There was way too much Marine DPS there. The tanks target firing down those Roaches as well. And this counter aggression is going to be very scary. Those tanks do have siege mode, so here we go, setting up shop. Here come the Zerglings trying to get us around, but there's so many Marines that one tank gets dropped. Second one's still alive. There's still a lot of Marines and that one tank. We also have some more reinforcement Marines coming out. Those Marines, they have 0 upgrades. They don't have combat shield. They don't have stim pack, but it doesn't matter. They are still strong, especially this early in the game. We're at the 10-minute mark now. That tank just barely out of range of that hatchery, but still, he's going to be able to take care of any units that push towards him right now. Hellions trying to target fire down those Speedlings. The Roaches will be getting rid of that Queen and the Roaches. The tank still up right now, and the tank is going to get taken out. No! Oh my gosh, the tank is still alive. MVP dropping down a mule to repair that. He's also got another tank here to join the line, and more Marine reinforcements. And this is starting to look very scary for Nestea because he is in danger now of losing this expansion. He's got 7 Roaches coming out. There's no counterattack at all going on. MVP is free to mine. And this is it right now, pushing forward with those drones. Here come the Roaches and Queens as well. Drones actually now pushing back. Nestea realizing he just does not have what it takes right now, and some Marine Micro is going to be more than enough. We've got SCVs repairing that tank as well. Here comes another tank. This is the last hurrah for Nestea, and there it is. Nestea forced to call the GG. MVP with a stellar defense was able to push back Nestea during his attempted Baneling bust. Unfortunately for Nestea, he just did not have enough units to break through and then actually take care of the army of MVP. And then we saw this counterattack from MVP, which was able to mop up pretty much everything that Nestea had and force the GG. Alright guys, that was game number 4. We are now tied up 2-2 in this series. Moving on to game number 5 in just a moment. As always, if you like the content, please subscribe. Thank you for watching. Keep watching and keep owning.